Hi, this is Miss McCauley again, and we are ready to start part 2 of dividing whole numbers by fractions. Make sure to answer the question at the end so we can make sure that you are understanding what you're doing.
Let's go ahead and try another one. Our next example is 2 divided by 1/3. Let's go ahead and pull up our virtual manipulatives and we'll try it that way first. So 2 divided by 1/3. So I'm going to write down 2 divided by 1/3. Remember, first step is to model your dividend or your first number. So we're going to select the fraction tab and pull out 2 whole number ones to model the 2. Now we're going to be grouping those ones into 1/3 groups. So go ahead and select your 1/3 pieces. And remember, 1/3 means that you need 3 pieces to make a whole. Okay? So each whole number 1 should have 3 1/3 pieces. Now, since our numerator is 1, okay, I'm going to circle these in groups of 1. Okay, so each 1/3 piece is its own group. Now I'm going to count how many groups I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can say that 2 divided by 1/3 equals 6. Go ahead and take a picture, screenshot, drop that into GoodNotes. Make it a little bit bigger so we can see it. Okay. And now let's try that same division problem using an equation. So I'm going to start with 2 divided by 1/3. And once again, remember the first step is to write that whole number over 1. So I'm going to rewrite this as 2 divided by 1/3. Okay? Now, remember, we're going to take our first fraction and multiply it times the reciprocal of our second fraction. So again, our division problem becomes multiplication, and you find the reciprocal of the second fraction. So 1/3 becomes 3 over 1. Now simply multiply straight across. 2 times 3 is 6, and 1 times 1 is 1. So we get a quotient of 6 over 1, but you know we're going to simplify that to 6 because 6 divided by 1 is 6. Again, you can see we get the same final answer no matter which way we do it. Go ahead and write 6 as your final answer up at the top for our quotient. Okay, let's try another one. Our next problem is 7 divided by 2/3. So go ahead and pull up your virtual manipulatives app. Again, we're doing 7 divided by 2/3. Let's write that down. 7 divided by 2/3. Okay, so remember, start by modeling the 7. So I'm going to pull out 7 of the 1 whole pieces. Make sure we've got enough space. 2, 3, 4, 5. Move this over. 5, 6, 7. Okay. Okay, next step. We're dividing that by 2/3. So we're going to use our 1/3 pieces, okay, and then the difference will be when we go to group these, we're going to put 2 1/3 pieces together since we're dividing this by 2/3, not 1/3. Okay, but for right now, just go ahead and model those 1/3 pieces. Remember that you should have 3 pieces for each whole. Since 1/3 means you would need 3 of these to make a whole. Okay. Mix up another side here. I'm just actually going to go ahead and put these right over the ones. Just because we're running out of space. Feel free to do the same if you're running out of space. Okay, so now when we do our groups, we have to put 2 1/3 pieces together in each group. Okay, so that's one group. There's another group of 2, another group of 2, another group of 2, another group of 2, another group of 2. Another group of 2, another group of 2, another group of 2. Another group of 2. Okay, and you can see also that we've got 1/3 piece by itself, so hold on to that for 1 sec. Let's count how many we've got so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we've got 1/3 left over. So we're going to go ahead Okay, so this is where it gets a little complicated. Okay, we've got 10 whole groups. Write my answer over here, 10 whole groups. Okay, and then this 1/3 piece, we're not writing 10 and 1/3. We're actually going to write 10 and 1/2, and here's why. That group of 2/3, okay? We don't have a whole group of 2/3, we only have half of that, okay? 1/3 is 1/2 of 2/3. Okay, I know it's a little complicated, but it should make more sense with time, so go ahead and take a picture. And then let's drop that into GoodNotes. Okay, and then let's also do this using a model. So we're going to do 7 divided by 2/3. Again, start by writing that 7 as 7/1 divided by 2/3. Then we're going to multiply our first number, 7/1, times the second number's reciprocal. So division becomes multiplication, and 2/3 becomes 3/2. Multiply straight across. 7 times 3 is 21. 1 times 2 is 2. So we get 21/2. But we're going to go ahead and simplify that. Okay, and 21/2. Remember to change an improper fraction to a mixed number. You're going to do 21 divided by 2. 2 goes into 2 one whole time. 2 minus 2 is 0. Bring down the 1. 2 goes into 1 0 times, which means we have a remainder of 1. So that will be written as 10 and 1/2. So we get a final quotient of 10 and 1/2, which remember is the same as what we got in our original problem. Okay, so go ahead and write that quotient up at the top. 10 and 1/2. Okay, let's try another one. 6 divided by 1/3. So let's go ahead and try that with the virtual manipulatives first. So pull that up. Okay, so I'm going to start by writing 6 divided by 1/3. And again, start by modeling your 6. 6. 2 of these over here, just so we have enough space. Okay, we're dividing this by 1/3, so I'm going to drag out my 1/3 pieces and split each group one whole into 6 pieces, or excuse me, into 1/3 pieces. So my 6 wholes are split into 1/3 pieces. Remember, you should have 3 1/3 pieces underneath each whole, because that third means you need 3 of them to make a whole. Okay. Since we're dividing by 1/3, each third is its own group, so go ahead and circle your groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 total groups. So 6 divided by 1/3 is 18. Go ahead and take a picture. Let's drop that into GoodNotes. Okay, so you'll notice that when we divide by fractions, we actually end up with a bigger answer, and that's okay. Okay, let's go ahead and try 6 divided by 1/3 with our equation. Remember, begin by writing that 6 as 6 over 1. Then we're going to multiply times the second number's reciprocal, so we're going to do 6 over 1 times 3 over 1. Multiply straight across, 6 times 3 is 18, 1 times 1 is 1. But we know we're going to simplify that 18 over 1 to 18 because 18 divided by 1 equals 18. And you can see from both methods we get the same final answer of 18. Okay?
Okay, as we wrap up part 2 of the video, please try this problem on your own. You can go ahead and do this in virtual manipulatives. It will actually be the first example in part 3 of the video, so you'll have the work done and be ready for part 3, and we can see how you're doing. 5 divided by 2/3. Go ahead and try that on your own in virtual manipulatives and see if you can get the right answer. Is it 10, 7.5, or 15? Bye for now.